All right, folks, this has been the biggest story of 2025 so far. And I told myself I was not going to get into this because of how divided it is when it comes to race relations. And I wanted my channel to be something welcoming for everybody. And I hope as we go through this video, you still see that. I'm only here really with gripes of other channels on social media, which whether it be Facebook, Instagram, and mainly YouTube, because there's a whole bunch of content creators that went along with the mis and disinformation because they got too emotionally involved in the case. Let's not do that here. With me, I only plan to bring facts and evidence as it comes to me. I do not claim to know everything about this case, which is why I am always objective as much as I can be. You guys have the right as viewers to tell me when I'm off my rocker. I'll give you that permission, all right? Because I want to be better and I want to grow. And I also want to let you know that I am not a journalist, not by trade, not by imagination. This is simply YouTube and my educated opinions. That is it. Now that we got that out the way, welcome to my channel. If you are already been viewing this channel for whatever reason, thank you. Welcome back. We know what's going on here. You see the title, Karmelo Anthony's family press conference in full. And I'm going to watch this and play this all the way through. I may stop here and there just to give commentary on like things that have been transpiring that they are clearing up. But without further ado, let's get into it. This is also the first time that they've spoken out. So I don't want to hear anything in the comments about you don't want to hear them speaking. They're clearing up stuff that we see on the internet. So let's just get into it and let them have their time.
I want to start off this press conference.
Now, let me get out the way.
To say something as a deep note that I can tell America. What we seen at the beginning of this press conference, the father being at this press conference, these are my words, don't quote anybody, is a disrespect to the dignity of his son. Next Generation Action Network from the beginning has respected the loss of life. No matter our opinion of it, we have kept our opinion.
Listen, the reason why I stopped it is because you can't see from this version that Austin Metcalf's dad was actually at the press conference. Before anyone says anything bad about him getting removed, apparently at some point from what I've heard, there was a court order for them to be separated. So the two families weren't supposed to commingle. The space that they are currently in is a space that is owned by somebody, not this guy, but his office supposedly is also there as well. And it's not a public press conference. It's not. That's what's being said, which is why he was asked to leave. And if he didn't leave, they were going to trespass him. There are videos going around on the internet now showing the Dallas police removing him from the venue, and he did go peacefully. That's that. And I'm going to replay this again. Sorry, my bad.
No matter our opinion of it, we have kept our opinion close. We have not attacked. We have not shared the information that was shared with us about Austin Metcalf, because we respect the dignity of life and loss. And as a minister, I would not attack a grieving family, even if I disagree with them. When I have stood before this podium for people who have died at the hands of law enforcement, I have asked for that same manner of respect.
Okay, real quick, that is an interesting piece of information there. I don't know what he is alluding to, but him saying that no matter if they disagreed, they're keeping the information that they received about Austin Metcalf. This guy is terrible when it comes to enunciating and like speak. He did an okay job today, but the last time he spoke, I was like, I'm done. I couldn't even listen to the whole thing. But I think that's an interesting piece of information. What do you gather from that piece of information?
And even when the shoe is on the other foot, I will not do that. And all I'm going to say, so it don't be asked later, is that was disrespectful and just shows you all the character who is not invited. He knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family, but he did it. And so I say to people, actions speak louder than words. Okay? What he has failed into is the political operatives that want to make this thing a political thing of hate, yet bigotry, and yet racism. We have conservative operatives that have been posting nonstop about this case. It is outright disrespectful. We haven't been doing it. The Next Generation Action Network has been here, popular and unpopular. So regardless of what's going on, that was disrespectful. Disrespectful. And I will leave it to y'all to define it. But of course we want to. Y'all, I'm Minister Dominique Alexander. I serve as the president of the Next Generation Action Network. Today I come before you with a heavy heart, but determined in spirit, not just as an advocate, but as a black man, as a father, as a protector, in community, and children. There are 4 critical points I must address today, and I want to make sure that the public and the media and everyone who believes in truth and justice. First, the misinformation about the fund. From the very beginning, there was an intentional disinformation surrounding the fund created in the support of the Anthony family. The Karmelo Anthony Fund, hosted by Give, Send, Go, let's be clear, the family has not received one dime. Any of the media could have verified this, but we saw on Twitter, we saw on Facebook, and so many different things of the false lavish life of this family. $800,000 home, purchase Escalade, in private security. Let me make this very clear. The Next Generation Action Network has always had its security detail. Many of you that know us in the Dallas and Fort Worth media know that we have our own security detail.
Okay, I would like to know where the hell that information came from. Who put out that these people were spending the money on cars, shoes, a new house, and security? Who came up with that? That I mean, apparently he's saying it's a lie. They haven't been able to touch the money. The father has been on leave from work. Supposedly he got a good job, and they already live in a nice house. But where did that narrative come from? If you still believe that now, I want you to tell me why you believe that, even hearing that they don't have the money yet.
One of the individuals that escorted Karmelo Anthony out of jail is here present with us now. They are a part of the Next Generation Action Network security team. The family hasn't hired any private contractors or whatever, or splurged or whatever. But if they have the audacity to spend money for their safety and security, that's their prerogative.
He's not wrong. What's
The
wrong with that?
family has not
What's wrong with
withdrawn.
that?
And just until recently, just yesterday, they were officially notified by Give, Send, Go that they could start the withdrawal process. But if anybody know about this process, they know that that takes about 2 to 3 days to withdraw from that and actually hit any account. But this blatant propaganda wasn't just about the fund. It was to discourage the public from giving to the fund. That's what this was about. Because just like TMZ was able to call, give, send, go, everybody in the media, in these news outlets that I've never heard before, could have did the same thing. When I first called Give, Send, Go, they gave me every information that I needed. Okay? So that's what I'm going to say on regards to that. Let me make this very clear. This family never authorized a single fund on the GoFundMe platform.
Huh? Hold on.
All of the funds that were raised on the GoFundMe were all fraudulent.
Damn, brother. Okay, well, while he's fixing that, that was pretty funny. They were online. People were online talking about, GoFundMe canceled their fund or whatever, and then come to find out, they never authorized one. They never authorized it. So it's like, where did this come from? Who started spreading the lies and the misinformation? Because you have hundreds of thousands of people running to the internet to go, see, they canceled his GoFundMe because he was a murderer and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, bro, you don't know that. I didn't know that. I heard about it, but didn't know for sure. And here we go. They never set one up. So that, like, come on, man, do your research.
All of the funds that was raised on that platform were fraud. Okay? The family was the first to report these funds. One of the funds we identified raised up to $11,000. So a post about anything that stated that GoFundMe took everything down regarding Karmelo Anthony, that was at the request of the families and their supporters. This family never tried to create an account on GoFundMe. The Next Generation Action Network is very well aware of the company's policy regarding raising funds for legal defense.
Do you believe that? Do you believe that?
Since this tragedy unfolded, the Anthony family has been subject to unimaginable amount of hate, racism, threats to their safety.
The boy that
People have sat outside their house, sent objects delivered to their door, publicly harassed, online and in person. This is not just about Karmelo. It's about the family who dared to stand and demand justice in a return and receive ugliness that racism in this country still breeds. But let me say this loud and clear. We are not scared. We are not moving. We will not be silent. What I've always said as the president of the Next Generation Action Network, we will never ask the oppressor for permission to liberate our people. We will not ask for permission to stand up for the rights of our children. The Next Generation Action Network has stood on both sides of the fence in ensuring that justice is served.
Before we go too far with this, I do want to say this though, and I want people to stop acting like if this were their child, they would just hand their child over to the authorities because they made a mistake or done something wrong. If you look at any case where a child has done something wrong, their parents go through some of them go through a grieving process and they know that their child has done something wrong, but they still don't disown them. They still want justice as far as the law is concerned. If he got to go to jail for 100 years, that's fine as long as he gets his due process. I don't know why people get online and think just because they're standing behind their son through this process that they want him to go scot free and don't want him to be held accountable. That's a projection that you guys have to deal with. Just because he's he admitted to killing or stabbing, let me say stabbing because he didn't know he was dead yet. Just because he admitted to stabbing this person does not mean that he does not deserve a fair trial. It does not mean that his parents should not back him up. Because here's one thing that I'm going to tell you, even if someone I knew went through something like this, it's okay for me to not like their actions, but it's also okay for me to give them constructive criticism behind the scenes. I do not need to chastise them in front of you just so that way you think that I'm holding them accountable. I don't care what you think about how I handle my people. Let's get that shit straight. Back to the video.
Now, getting to the information that the Next Generation Action Network wanted to share with the public today. And I will go ahead and pass it over to the mother and once I make this statement, okay? All right. There's two more final. For the last week and a half, the Next Generation Action Network has engaged in communications with Frisco ISD to ensure that Karmelo Anthony's due process is not violated. We know that in the state of Texas, there are things that are discretionary things and decisions by the leadership of Frisco ISD, right? There are clear guidance in the state and education code regarding expulsion of a student. We have asked several times, we didn't just rush, we have had these conversations over the last several days. And we have stated that it is just outright wrong to get involved in this. Karmelo Anthony doesn't have to walk. He doesn't have to involve in any senior activities. But Karmelo Anthony is a 3.7 GPA student. And if he doesn't even go to class for the remainder of the year, he would graduate, okay? We've asked that Frisco do not make a decision in this situation. But Frisco ISD has notified of their intent to expel Karmelo Anthony from school 1 month before his high school graduation.
Well, that was gonna happen.
That just shows me that Frisco ISD is trying to push off the blame. And what I have not heard the media say, as many media outlets have asked us what went on, I'm trying to find how many of y'all have asked the superintendent or one single board of trustee, why didn't you cancel or postpone? With weather in that magnitude, you couldn't have a track meet in rain or thunderstorm or clouds. Y'all are the media. Ask your journalists, your weather journalists, how the weather was that day and that time. Y'all do that research.
Okay, there's been some rumblings about this statement here that he is trying to blame the death of Austin Metcalf on the weather, and that is what gives Karmelo the right to do what he did. That is not what he's doing. If anything, he's trying to paint a picture as to why he would be sitting under a tent. Why he wasn't sitting under his own, nobody knows that right now. There's a whole bunch of theories you can add to fill in the gaps. Where did he start? Did he walk in, go straight there? Was he already there? Did he leave another tent? Who knows? And who cares? He's there. And that's where the problem starts. That's it. But that's why he's bringing up the weather. That's it.
Because as a person who is the administrator of yet children, you are responsible for the safety of the children. And so it seems as if Frisco ISD is trying to push this off by making this decision that they do not have to make. So
not a good angle.
The Next Generation Action Network, outside of the legal process, will be going through different avenues regarding to ensure that we fight for the rights of Karmelo Anthony. Okay? So in the next coming days, we will be announcing to the public. We will do direct action outside of Frisco ISD administration office because this is outright wrong. You are getting involved in a process that even the legal process has asked us to respect. And we're asking you to do that same thing. You do not have to get involved in this situation. But it seems that even with us going and meeting or having conversations, they have made their mind up. And we want to make sure that the records, that we talk truth to power in regards. I wanted to lay this out to ensure, because of the sensitivity of this case, there are so many moving factors that I have to explain so that this family does not have to explain. Let me say this about the 4th, and let me repeat this so that you guys can go to the Frisco Police Department. The reason why the family or me or anybody with direct knowledge of this cannot talk about the particulars of what happened in that tent, I know you know this is all law, is because if anybody tell you there was an adult near or inside or whatever, this current investigation knows nothing about that. Everybody involved at this point of our knowledge are minors. In the state of Texas, you know we cannot release or talk about minors. So stop asking us the question. Stop. It's no. We can't even do it if we wanted to. Okay? We can't talk about it. So don't ask. There is a court of law that will express everything, will lay out everything. We can't talk about it if we wanted to. Okay? So make it clear. Go back, confirm with Frisco Police Department. Go back, confirm with the district attorney. Even in the bond hearing, you didn't see a single thing said about people that was indirect. They're minors. Okay? So stop. The social media, stop. I haven't saw not one person single-handedly get this right in the public. They're minors, y'all. Just stop.
Okay, I wonder if that's what he meant earlier by he hasn't released the information that he has about Austin Metcalf. Maybe there is something there. Maybe they said something. And it's like, yo, we got insider information because we hear, but outside of that, we can't say anything. Could you imagine if they have like some damning information and then just because they can't say anything, their hands are tied, they can't even defend themselves. Well, I mean, no pun intended, but what if that's what that is? That's why he said that. I'm just speculating at this point, but
we can't. Don't send another inquiry to NGAN inbox, do this, all of that. That's the reason why we felt like it was important to do this press conference today. We can't talk about it. So if you ask me, I'm just going to look at you, okay? So I'm telling the world, everybody know the state law. I'm not creating it. We can't talk about it. This family can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. Nobody, unless you want to be sued. You release one of those 16-year-olds or 15-year-olds and 17-year-olds name, the law of this land tells you what was going to happen to you. Okay? So don't ask that question. Finally, in regards to this judge, I do not know Judge Angela Tucker. I've never met her, never known her, never been nowhere near her court. Don't know anything about her until we were notified that she was going to hear the writ. But the ugly attacks on her just shows Black America that no matter what you pick in the ballot box, and that is your constitutional right, it's people out here reminding us of the Black struggle in America. This woman is a registered Republican, has been for years. She put herself through school, she raised her family, she did everything. I'm a registered Democrat, proud. I'm the chair of the Dallas County Democrat Resolutions Committee. I don't know that woman. And to call her leftist,
I gotta clip that. I gotta clip that.
The bond that was given is according to law and consistency with practice. If Aaron Dean can get a $300,000 bond when he killed a Tatiana Jefferson, Karmelo Anthony can get a $250,000. If Amber Geiger can get a $200,000 bond when she kills Botham Judge in his own home, he can get a $250,000. If Roy Oliver
Okay, y'all, let me clear that up. I don't know if you guys remember that story. There was a woman who shot a guy for trespassing in her home. She thought it was her house that he was in. But here's the thing. When she got home or to her complex, she was on the wrong floor, went to the wrong apartment door. I guess they had the same number, but wrong floor. Okay. She opened the door. The dude is in the house and he's like, who the hell? And she opened fire, killed him. That's that story. Botham John. But yeah.
Can get a $250,000 bond after he kills Jordan Edwards. All white officers. Why couldn't Karmelo Anthony be entitled? A child with no background, no criminal background, no endangerment to the community, none whatsoever, be placed on a ELM and brought home.
It's true.
Please help me understand. Make this make sense.
That's fair. That is fair.
It's consistency. It's consistent with practice. After this, y'all, so that we'll know, this will be our final press conference until this trial. We will not speak to the media again after this, okay? Don't ask for comment, question, or whatever it is. The actions that the Next Generation Action Network take on Frisco ISD will be separate from the legal process because we want to make sure that Karmelo Anthony's due process. This is going to be a jury case. And then let me make this very clear. This is a case that has not even been indicted. So, under the guise of Texas law, it's not even really proceeding to a trial yet because it has not even went through a grand jury to be indicted. We don't know if a grand jury will indict or not. We don't know. That's in the district attorney's hands, okay? And their legal team is preparing a packet for those things, and we will not be talking about the legal process regarding this case, okay?
That's good.
So after today, I just want the media to know, and I want the public to know, I don't care what you say about me. I've been in this thing for 11 years. I am tried, tested, and proven. I'm gonna just say, I'm from Oak Cliff. Worser things have been said about me, baby. You ain't gotta inbox me, you ain't gotta tell me. I am the first person to tell my testimony.
Speaking of his testimony, he's got a checkered past. He got about a good 6 charges, and then one of them is really bad. I'll let you guys look that up. He does have a checkered past. The last thing he got hit up for was something in 2016, 2013, 16, or something like that. And he was like 23, if I'm not mistaken. But it's not good. But we're not talking about that right now. But that's what he's talking about, because there have been people putting his paperwork on the internet, trying to discredit him and kind of alluding to the fact that if the family picked him, knowing his background, then they're just like him too. Whether they know or not, I don't know. But that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make a correlation here. And then he knows the judge, supposedly, and a bunch of bullshit. But
I don't have to prove anything to nobody. I am a proven testimony standing here that God, even when you make mistakes, God is not finished with your story. I'm gonna bring this mother, Kayla Hayes, and it has taken her a lot of strength, y'all, to come and do this today.
She looks so young.
And I want you guys to respect her as she read this, and giving her the respect that she deserves, y'all.
You could tell she's nervous too. Damn, no respect. All up in
Good
her grill.
afternoon. My name is Kayla Hayes. I am the mother of Karmelo Anthony. 3 years ago, my family moved to North Texas, searching for a better life. Like so many other families, we wanted to give our children the future we did not have. My husband works hard every single day to provide for us, to make sure we're in the best financial position possible. As a stay-at-home mom, I made it my life's mission to ensure our children are loved, nurtured, and supported every step of the way. In wake of this tragic incident, our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Karmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about. The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation, from the police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what may happen to her.
Yeah, that come with the
And
territory.
let me be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser. And the co-founder has stated that clearly. In the reality, we were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds. And it still takes several days to receive those funds once a request is made. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. He's been raised in a two-parent home with structure, stability, love, and we put God first in everything that we do. We believe in the Constitution, we believe in the laws of this state, but those laws must apply to all of us, not just some of us. To be clear, we will not speak publicly about specific details of what happened under the tent on that rainy and awful day. There's an active investigation that everyone involved wants to be full and fair. We believe in the legal process, and that is where the truth will come out. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you. To those who have supported my family, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We ask for your continued support, patience, and prayers as we navigate this difficult process. Thank you.
That was a hard thank you. Yeah, that was kind of touching. I mean, some of that stuff, I'll be honest with you. If you ask me, I honestly think that if Karmelo knew what he was getting himself into when he stabbed Austin Metcalf, if he knew it would have an impact on his life like this, I bet you he wouldn't do it. I bet you he would never do that again. And I would like for young people to know, if anyone young sees this video, maybe not, but if so, I think that I would like them to take away conflict resolution. Like, not everything requires you to let's just say use deadly force. But also, if you're going to move that way, you have to know how it works for you. There are laws that are going to be in place that it may not work in the way that you think that it would work. When Karmelo got found by the police, he asked if what he did would be considered self-defense. He has no clue. He doesn't know. So I want the young people out there, even adults, man, if y'all gonna be out here quoting laws, you need to make sure it works with how you operate. It needs to be related to your state or relative to your state, and you have to know when and when that law applies. So, and even still, like I said before, everything doesn't require you to lash out and use deadly force. Whether or not he knew that the kid was gonna die, or that's what he intended to do, I don't know. But I bet after seeing this, I bet you he didn't think his mom was gonna break down like this. I bet you he didn't think they were gonna have to relocate. He probably didn't think they were gonna get death threats. I mean, he probably didn't think his dad was gonna have to take a leave of absence, which they probably won't even hire him back because it's too much. That's why the school was like, yo, we don't want nothing to deal with him, which is a part, it comes with the territory. So I understand like the mom getting emotional and the dad getting emotional, but this is just what comes with the territory. It's some of this is unfair for the family, but it just, come on, like, you can't expect people to be sorry for you when your son took the life of someone else, whether or not he deserved it, or if that's what you feel. This is just what comes with the territory.
Y'all, I'm going to show something up of a post. You come for me, I come for you. Sarah Fields. Never heard of this woman. This is the kind of despicable thing
she out there
that led to the father being here. Political operatives motivating this family with hate. Carmelo Anthony posted on something that shows.
Yeah, that's kind of bad.
Posted here. These are the type of lies that are threatening this family.
What is? Oh, that looks like they put Carmelo Anthony's head or face on the Daniel Penny guy, who was if you don't know who that is, that's the guy who got off on self defense for choking that homeless man in a subway, like the train station, for making threats, like he was gonna do something to somebody, and he was choking him, and then he died, but he got off on self defense too. That one was kind of wild, but that's what that is.
Posting the family's picture. These are the type of lies.
Yeah, the minors.
She's getting millions of views on this. Sarah, she's even came after me. She's even said all of those things.
Well, they're like he don't
And now
deserve
that
it,
the
but I
public
mean,
knows exactly what is going on, I ask, because these racist bigots try to prevent us from standing up for our baby, our boy, he should be afforded the same rights that Cal Rittenhouse had, Daniel Penna, and all of the people who have claimed whatever their defense was. He should be afforded the same right. Nobody in the public media has one video camera, but we got the video of Cal Rittenhouse with an AK-47 shooting 3 people in the back.
ooh, that's not true.
We got that. And he raised more than $2 million publicly, and nobody said anything.
Okay, hold on. He right. Nobody said anything. Well, some people did, but he didn't shoot the people in the back. I'm kind of tired of people bringing up the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, because those people, one, don't understand self-defense. They don't understand self-defense laws in other states that they don't live in. The type of gun, it at some point, it don't matter. If you can open carry, you can carry a bazooka in some states. I'm tired of them using that one. I'm gonna cut that one down the middle. Like I told you, you're gonna get the real here. Ain't no bias here, but I hate when they use that excuse. He didn't shoot him in the back either.
So since they tried to come for us, I call for the community's overwhelming support for this fund. The disinformation that was put out was literally deliberate to prevent you from helping this family. And I want you to give overwhelming support to show them the community united can never be divided. And I'm gonna say this again, and this is for everybody. Black people in America, while the current occupant sits at 1600 Pennsylvania, black people in America don't have to pull the race card. It's what we live as a reality every day. It's what we have to teach our children. We don't want to, but we have to. We don't like to, but if we want to sleep at night, we got to. I ain't pulling no race card. I live it. I'm reminded all the time that I'm a black man in America. And what y'all just showed to Judge Tucker is just reminded that hate and bigotry and racial reconciliation in this country, we have respected the process. I believe that Austin Metcalf is about to have his funeral. And I wouldn't dare, even with the information I know, and plenty people can share that and all that, but we have prevented from speaking about that in these type of public forums. It will come out. They have a more than well capable attorney, and this family will go through a process of being able to get prepared for this trial. So I just say this real quick. This is our final time speaking to public and holding a press conference regarding this particular case. Now, the Next Generation Action Network will talk about Frisco ISD. But we will not do this. I will not ask this mother to do this again. The attorney will not. We won't do this again. Don't ask. We will see you at trial. Whatever venue that is, we will see you there. I stand 10 toes down supporting this family. And I want to thank all of the community leaders and people that I have seen that have came here today. Bishops and pastors and clergy, community leaders with respectability in this community. I see them today. And I want to thank them for their presence because this family needs strength right now.
All right, well, that's pretty much that. But I would like to add something where I think that there is, I mean, everyone's trying to say that this isn't, a race thing. And while I do understand that, I think there is a dynamic of being Black in America that other cultures just do not understand. And one of the parts is how we're raised differently. I think that everyone sees the world in their own bubble, which is why we can't agree online about any damn thing as Americans, period. But as different cultures of America or in America. And I've seen people online asking, well, why did he bring a knife to school? And dare I say, we don't even know if it was a knife yet. Yes, the police report said someone said that they pulled out a black knife, but what if it wasn't a knife? Just because it's sharp, is it a knife? It could have been a black pencil. Who knows? No one has ever seen what the object looked like. We don't know if it was a knife or not. It could have been rumored, or it was rumored that he was on the track team. Maybe in his bag he had cleats. If he had cleats, maybe he had something in his backpack to clean off the cleats. Maybe maybe it gets stuck in grass. I don't know. But it didn't have to be a knife is my point. But within that, people carry objects on them all the time to protect themselves. I think it's when you've lived a certain life or lifestyle, and not saying that Karmelo has, but we don't know what he's been through. Yes, he lives in a gated community. Yes, his dad has a good job. I mean, he may have decent friends, but when you live as a Black American, some of us are traumatized by what we see in the news or on TV or wherever the news is disseminated. For instance, the guy who was jogging down the street and gets stopped by those guys in the truck and then gets shot by a shotgun. I forget what his name is. It's slipping me. But things like that, when we've seen the Trayvon Martins, we've seen stuff like that. So anytime you leave the house, you could be in danger. You may have a nice, decent neighborhood, but that does not mean you're always going to be safe. It does not mean that. People walk their dogs with sticks or canes or pepper spray because you just never know. So for those of you who don't understand why someone would carry a knife somewhere, look at your state laws. People open carry in Texas. People carry guns to the liquor store. They carry guns to church. They carry guns to the gas station. Is it premeditated that do they think that they're going to use their gun every time they leave the house? They probably don't. But guess what? If they have to, they will. And that's what they bought it for. So I want people just to understand, or at least try to understand. Ask questions, but questions like, come on, let's be honest. If you're asking why would he bring a knife to school, I don't think you're gonna really understand if you're not of that culture. So, but if I tell you that hey, where I live, it's not sweet. I catch the bus, and on the bus it be elements, and every place we stop, it's a neighborhood where it's active over there. So if I have to get off it, get off the bus and walk the streets at some point, I may need something on me. And that could be what it is. Is it cool to do that? I'm sure no one wants to have to carry nothing to be protected. I was told that if you feel like you got to take something somewhere to protect yourself, you probably shouldn't go. But that's not, he doesn't have that option. He got to go to school. So I want some people to have grace and just know that not everyone comes from the same background. Not everyone has the same upbringing. Not everyone has the same trauma. And people are going to live their lives based on, their past. That's what we take into our future until we can face those demons. But until then, they're a work in progress. So, I don't know Carmelo Anthony. They say he had a 3.7 GPA. He played on the football team and on the track. He was a captain of the track team and he worked 2 jobs. Okay, cool. That don't mean he's a great person, but just because he, poked somebody also don't mean he's a bad person. Could he turn out to be a thug? Hey, hell yeah, he possibly could be. But we don't know that yet. And in time, we will find out. We will find out. That's all, folks. That's my take. Tell me what you think. And stop jumping to conclusions and stop listening to all these damn other YouTubers who don't have no damn backbone. All this information came out and they still trying to pick apart this guy or the spokesperson. He's not an attorney, but I will admit he's not a good spokesperson to have with that type of record. It's just not good. So, I'm cutting it right there, but y'all feel free to let me know in the comments what y'all think. I'm outie.